this question is almost as difficult as asking for my favorite book of the Bible because, well, there have been so many people that God has put into my life for which I'm so grateful for, that I could talk about. I could talk about my parents. My dad became a follower of Jesus when he was a student, and that obviously has impacted my life, and their quiet but faithful and consistent life and witness to me. Then there's been what we might call famous Christians, people that I've been able to read their books and listen to their talks, and a few of whom that I've been able to get to know over the years. Certainly an evangelist, same name as mine, Michael, but Michael Green, who died back in 2019, was a great influence to me over 10 years. He was in his 80s, I was in my 20s and 30s, but it was really wonderful being able to work and learn from him. And actually, the thing that really struck me about Michael was, yes, he was an academic, he was a theologian, he was an evangelist, he'd written 50 books, he was an excellent speaker. But actually, the thing that really struck me about him was his humility. He didn't have pretensions to grandeur. He was just very humble. If he came into a room and all the chairs were taken, he would sit on the floor. If there was a volunteer needed to wash the dishes, he would be the first to be out in the kitchen rolling his sleeves up and so on. And that genuine humility, which of course models the humility of Jesus, was something that was so impactful for me. So Michael really was a great influence. But if I'm allowed actually one person even more than Michael, it'd be someone that no one will have ever necessarily heard of. But he was a friend, and as a child, he was my youth leader, as a teacher in my church. And then for a while, he was my boss. I worked on his farm. He was a local farmer just outside the city where I grew up. So I used to work on his farm in the summers. And actually, it was his friendship and mentoring and encouragement over the years that has been probably the biggest, most shaping influence in my life. In fact, when we got married 5 years ago, I invited him to be my best man because of that ongoing influence that he's had. And I share that story about Tim because sometimes we think of, the famous Christians, the people who've written books, the people who've preached, the people who have platforms, and we think, oh, they're the ones that can really influence people's lives. But actually, I would say the person who has influenced my life the most is not an eloquent preacher, has never written a book, and has spent his life as a farmer, and yet has massively impacted my life. And the encouragement from that is that actually, whoever we are and whatever position we're in, actually, if we allow him, God can use us to influence the lives of others in profound ways. Yeah.